this is Phil Congdon, pastor of New Braunfels Bible Church. Today is Thursday. This is the 5th day of Holy Week, the week in which Jesus was crucified. And the 5th day, Thursday of that week, well, that was a day of preparation for Jesus. Preparation for the Passover meal. As you recall, the day for a Jew began after sundown. So, although Passover was on Friday, the Passover began after sundown on Thursday night. And so Thursday was a day of preparing that meal, getting ready so that that night, as Passover began, they would celebrate it with the Passover feast. Well, that day, Jesus told Peter and John to go into Jerusalem and to get ready for that night's meal. And what he told them almost sounds like a mystery clue. He told them that when they went to the city, they were to follow a man who was carrying a jar of water. And wherever he went, when he went into the house, they were to ask the owner of that house exactly this. The teacher says, "Where is my guest room for me to celebrate the Passover with my disciples?" Well, Peter and John did exactly as Jesus said. And the man pointed them to an upper room where they had everything set out. The furniture was ready, and they were going to celebrate Passover. And so it was that the rest of the day, Peter and John were gathering what they needed for the Passover meal and preparing for that night. Later that afternoon, on Thursday, Jesus and the other disciples made their way from Bethany across over the Mount of Olives, down through the Congdon Valley, and up to Jerusalem. Jesus, I wonder, you ever thought what he might have been thinking as he made that journey? Here he was going to celebrate the Passover feast, and he knew that he himself would be the Passover lamb who was slain. And sometimes I think we overlook the anguish that Jesus felt in these last days. In a deeply personal account, the Apostle John, the disciple who was closest to Jesus, records that at some point Jesus said, and perhaps to no one, said, "Now my soul has become troubled. And what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour? But for this purpose I came to this hour." And so it was that on Thursday, a day of preparation, first of all, Peter and John made their way to Jerusalem to prepare the Passover meal. And then Jesus and the other disciples followed. And as they walked, and as the delicious smell of roasting lamb wafted from hundreds and hundreds of homes all across their way, Jesus knew he had only hours left before his arrival.